If you dream of writing and self-publishing your first book, much like myself, this is the video for you. First off, if you're here because you've finished your first draft, congratulations. That alone is a huge milestone in writing your first ever book. Anyways, if you are ready to get invaluable feedback that will take your manuscript to the next level and keep your future readers coming back for more, grab a pen, grab a notebook, and let's get started. We are going to dive into 10 essential questions that you can ask your beta readers as soon as today. And don't you worry, we will also be looking at how you can find beta readers, how you can find good beta readers, and how to organize your workflow. So keep on watching. If you're new here, I'm Christina and I make videos about writing and self-publishing. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So before we delve into specific questions, let's quickly discuss what beta readers are and why they are so important for first-time authors. Beta readers are a select group of people who read your manuscript in its very early stages. They are likely some of the first eyeballs that you will have on your writing. Whew, it is nerve-wracking. I know. I have just sent in my manuscript for beta reading feedback and I'm getting it back this week. I am very excited, but I am also very nervous. So the beta readers will provide honest feedback, keyword being honest. They will help you identify strengths, weaknesses, point at any blind spots in pacing, plot, character, and any other elements that might need refining. They are an invaluable resource for authors, especially if you are trying to self-publish your first book. So they sound great, right? So now that you know how important these beta readers are, where the heck can we find them? So the general advice is to start with your immediate circle of friends, family, and writing groups. However, I want to offer you a word of caution when seeking out free beta readers. People are busy, they forget things, you have deadlines, they might not know. You might not get your feedback so timely if you choose to go this route. And if you just hand them your book with no clear expectations on what you want from feedback, you might just be left with a lackluster, oh, this writing is great, I can't wait to read more, which defeats the purpose. The whole reason to seek out beta readers is to point out your blind spots so that you can figure out what's working, what's not working, and go on to write your next draft and your next draft and so on. So if you do plan to seek out free beta reader help from your friends and family, please make sure you pick people that are genuinely interested in your genre and are also genuinely interested in giving honest and constructive feedback. And if you're kind of like, I don't know about that, my friends and family have no interest in my writing, or if you're in the stage where you're kind of afraid to tell people that you're thinking about writing your first book, there's still avenues that you can find free beta readers online. Let's take a look at those here. This one is literally called Beta Reader Group. You can read through this, see how you can get yourself a beta reader. For all you How I Met Your Mother fans, the next one is called Have You Met? It's a great networking group for authors, beta readers, editors, reviewers, and book bloggers. This one I really like, especially if you're searching for editors or writers that are just starting out, literally called Editors and Writers. As you can see, editor available now, free proofread, experienced beta reader and editor, July availability. You could click on this link literally today and inquire about having beta reading services. Facebook is also a very valuable group. This group is called Beta Readers and Critique Partners. So I invite you to join it if you are on Facebook and see if that is something that works for you. If you type in beta readers in the search bar, you will see a whole bunch of options, and depending on what genre you're working with, like this one is fantasy, ARC means advanced reader copy, and beta readers, you could join this group. So take a look on Facebook, see if any of these connect with you. Just remember to read the group rules for any of these groups that you join, and happy searching. However, if you are able to, I highly recommend seeking out at least 2 paid beta readers for 3 reasons. The first one being objectivity. If you seek out a paid beta reader, they are not your friend. This is simply transactional. You are paying them to, in return, get honest feedback. They have no concerns of protecting your feelings. Number 2 is they also have a deadline, as you are paying them to complete a service in a specific amount of time. So when you pay beta readers for their services, you can be assured that you will actually get the feedback that you're waiting on and hoping for. And number 3, when you seek out paid services, you may get higher quality feedback because they have experience. They do this for a living over and over and over. They know how to analyze story. They know what works and what doesn't. I've personally used Fiverr to seek out feedback from beta readers, and I still am using Fiverr. I'm still waiting on more feedback, but so far I have no complaints about the experience. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please remember to give it a thumbs up, as it really helps small creators like me reach more people who want to write and self-publish their first book. Okay, so, you've found the beta readers. Let's talk about what questions to ask them. If you're using paid services like Fiverr, you'll find that your beta readers will naturally answer these questions anyways, which is nice, so you don't have to do a lot of the legwork of telling them what questions you want answered. But if you know that there's a certain area you are struggling with in your writing, be it dialogue, pacing, plotting, don't be afraid to ask for super specific feedback on these topics. All right, let's get into the questions. If you go to Google and search questions to ask beta readers, there are so many that you can, but I've put together a list of my 10 favorite questions that I find to be the most useful when getting feedback on my writing. So let's start with question number 1. Did the story grab your attention from the beginning? Once you start working with developmental editors or paid beta readers, you'll notice a pattern that they say they are going to be the most critical of the first chapter of your story, because it is their goal to help you make sure that your readers do not stop reading your first book. Question number 2. Were the characters relatable and well developed? Did you like the characters? This is really important for you to know, because yes, we can write unlikable characters and still root for them, but a lot of the times readers want to root for a character that they sympathize with and that they are rooting for. Question number 3. Did the plot unfold at a satisfying pace? This question helps you evaluate the flow of your story, ensuring that it keeps readers engaged without lagging or rushing through important events. Question number 4. Were there any plot holes or inconsistencies? Honestly, I feel like this question's a little bit of a cop-out, because I feel like that is the general overarching theme of hiring beta readers, is to point out plot holes and inconsistencies. But when you ask this directly, especially if you're working with free beta readers, they will help you spot discrepancies and gaps in things like timeline or even character behavior. They might go, hey, I don't really think your main character would react that way, when you might not have realized that while you were just working on your first draft. Question number 5, and this one is very open-ended, but I want you to ask, what were the strengths and weaknesses of this manuscript? This just allows your beta reader to go on whatever tangent they want to, give you whatever feedback they want to, and it doesn't pigeonhole them into a corner asking them about something specific like character dialogue and pacing. So you can get a lot of great information by asking such a simple question. Question number 6, did the ending satisfy you? The final chapters are crucial, and knowing whether readers found the conclusion fulfilling helps you craft a memorable and impactful ending. Question number 7, were there any standout scenes or memorable events in this story? This one's a really fun one to ask, because you might find that scenes that you didn't really care about too much, your beta readers actually said, hey, I wanted to see more of that scene. Question number 8, did the dialogue feel natural and authentic? There's nothing that pulls a reader out of the story more than just weird, clunky, awkward dialogue, so I personally love this question. Question number 9, was the writing style easy to follow, or were there any areas that could be improved for clarity? And question number 10, one of my personal favorite questions is, were there any characters or scenes that you were hoping to see more of on the page? This lets you know if your reader felt like they were missing out on certain parts of the story, and it kind of hints to where you might be underwriting in some scenes. Now that you've found your beta readers and you know what questions you're going to ask them, it's time to organize your workflow. So let's jump into one of my favorite tools, Google Drive. What I did here is I clicked new, I clicked new folder, and I typed in beta reading. And so the first thing I like to do is to just go in here and create a document. So I want to click new, Google Docs, and I want to call it beta reading questions template. And I like saying hi, name, add a little note. Thank you so much for doing this. Below are some questions that you can consider when reviewing my manuscript. And then you can just type out whatever your favorite questions are here. And then you have that template you can save for everyone that you send it to. Just obviously remember to change where it says name. So if we go back in here and we hit refresh, we see that we have beta reading questions. Then what I like to do to keep it even more organized is I like to make a folder in the beta reading folder for each person. So let's see, I have a beta reader named Amy. I could create her own folder. And then I go back into the beta reading questions and I go file, make a copy, and I put that into Amy's folder, select, make a copy. I change the title here and I just go, hi, Amy. And then I would have my questions below. So I continue to do that for however many beta readers I have. Again, if it's a paid beta reader off Fiverr, I may just send them a link to this document, or I might just directly ask them in the messages. I am so excited for you to write and self-publish your first fiction book. I want you to remember that beta readers are your allies. Even though it might be kind of overwhelming receiving a ton of feedback at once, they are there to help you make your manuscript even better. So I invite you to embrace their feedback with an open mind and keep on improving your writing craft. That will bring you one step closer to writing and self-publishing your first book. Good luck on working with your beta readers. While you're waiting for the next video, you can check out these videos, and I will see you in the next one.
And now there's something in